This is the exterior inspection. The grade is very, very low on the right elevation, sorry, the left rear elevation. There's a crack in the grade wall here, probably there since the day it was built, and we've got a bit of a crack here. There's a settlement crack here. Now immediately I noticed as I drove up, we do not have any eaves and we have no gutters. So there's two things going on. Gutters is going to cause a lot of water to roll off the roof, and if they had eaves they'd actually roll off the roof and come away from the building. But as it is at the moment, the water's going to run off the roof and hit the grade immediately next to the foundation, and that will cause foundation issues over the years. The other thing that we have a problem with no eaves is that the water is going to run off the roof and down the walls, and that's going to add moisture content to the wall cavities. At the rear right elevation, we have a settlement crack here and up here, and it's been here for a number of years. Somebody's caulked it. And then we've got movement in the building around the windows here. Basically the foundation is subsiding, it's going down, and the brickwork is staying where it is, and you get a hole or cracks opening up in the caulking here. And you see over the top of the bay window or the window, you've got a crack. Then we've got holes allowing rodents, squirrels to go up into the roof. Now the roof itself has moved. You can see here that there was paint there, and what we've got is movement in the building, and the roof is staying where it is as the building moves. We're at the right elevation beside the garage. Settlement crack over the window, it's been there a while. Now here we've got runoff from the valley, and that runoff is running straight down the wall and straight into this corner here, and you can see the erosion that it's caused. This mast has started to move, it's tipped. The building only has to move a fraction, and the mast is going to be held in place by the ties, and that tightens and it pulls the mast over, and that's why you see that angle there. Now here we're looking at the grade, and you see there's a gap opening in the grade here. That's caused by the soils drying out. As the soils dry out, they shrink and they move away from the foundation, and the foundation has less support. Moving to the front right elevation. These bushes need to be removed. You don't want bushes like this next to a foundation. They expirate lots of water, and that in itself can have an effect on the foundation. Again, we've got run out off the roof from the valley coming down here. It's going to cause a hot wet spot, and it's going to cause the soils to expand there where they won't anywhere else. Again, the grade is too high all the way around. In fact, generally the grade is bad here. It should be sloping away from the building, and it isn't. It's rather flat. It could do with regrading. The caulking is in very poor condition. It's got holes in it, got a big gap here, big hole here. I recommend recaulking all your windows. We're at the front left elevation. Again, we've got cracks in the brickwork and the mortar, cracks up here, and you've got cracks in the windowsill here, and you've got a hole. Now you can put your finger in there. That's going to take a lot of water in, and that'll ruin the floors, make everything damp and mould. Now they've got a trim board here, and the trim board's been mended with a little plate across it. The trim's separated with movement in the foundation. We're now at the front or rear left elevation, and we have a lot of settlement cracking. In fact, the brickwork here is moving. If that continues to move, this will fall down. It's going to come out. That's at the left elevation. I'd rate that as quite severe movement. It's the attic stairs. The rail is loose and dangerous. The stairs themselves have been repaired, a bit of an amateur repair. I recommend the whole thing's replaced. I'm in the attic over the garage, and you can see here we've got the ridge board. Now, either side of the ridge board are rafters, and you can see this rafter here, this one here and here. They're pulling away from the ridge board. Now it's classically, that incidentally was that stupid rail they've got. Some people have no pride. Yeah, so what is actually happening is the building is moving and the roof's moving, and this ridge board and these rafters are moving away as the building moves. This vent here is for the dryer. It's absolutely irregular, wrong, completely. This is the garage. You can keep your car in here, vehicle, and of course it has gasoline in it. Fumes come off of it. If you leave it running in here, for example, the carbon monoxide fumes can come up and into this vent and into the house. Also, if you've got gasoline at fumes, they too could get in here, and of course you've got electrical components in the dryer that could cause a fire. So this is wrong. You can't use a dryer with this outlet. It should never ever come into the garage. The insulation in the attic is absolutely woefully missing. See this area here, it's actually over the house. The rest of it is over the garage. And normally you don't get insulation over the garage, although I encourage you to put insulation over a garage. And this is going to make it very difficult to cool this place. It's going to be very, very hot inside. This is a pot light. It's actually in the ceiling, and should have a tag chain on it to stop it falling through. Just in case it comes loose, there'd be a tag chain on it. There's not. I would rate this whole attic as having like 0 insulation. What insulation is here is too thin. there are many areas where the insulation is just missing. Yeah, they're missing insulation from the eaves all the way around. You might as well rate this as having zero insulation. You need to blow a lot more insulation in, considerable amount, to get it up to a standard that would be acceptable. And here we've got a ridge board, sorry, we've got a rafter that's split. Two rafters. This is roof inspection. Aha, that looks like a dryer vent, but it's not. That is a vent to the kitchen range. They look similar. This is a chimney. Let's find out whether or not we have a liner. We do, we have a chimney liner. It's very good news. Now, although we have a chimney liner, we do not have a spark arrestor or a chimney cap. And that means water's going to get in here, and over time it will affect the chimney. This is a roof vent here, and it's too short. Now here's the result of a lack of a chimney cap up there. Can you see, I'll get my light for it, can you see that we've got rust? It's because there's water just pouring down in wet weather. You see it's been running down here, you've got all the water stains. You really must get that capped. It can't be left like that. It's going to lead to deterioration in the system completely. Okay, well, there's a considerable amount of build-up of creosote and soot. You really must have this swept, otherwise you could have a chimney fire. This is a Federal Pacific panel. This is a Federal Pacific panel. As such, it should be replaced. They have a very poor history, known to cause fires, all sorts of problems with them, especially with the stab lock breakers. Also, this panel doesn't have a single throw breaker, it's a multiple throw, it exceeds 6, so it should be changed for that reason. All told, this is probably one of the worst panels that you can actually have. it is. The line here, down here, this one, is aluminium. That's another good reason to consider swapping this panel out. Aluminium and power lines don't really go together. The rest of it is copper. We're going to check some of the other areas. No, that's aluminium too. But that's the main drop coming in, so that's quite typical. We've got a couple of wire nuts in here. The air conditioning is not performing very well. I'm at one of the registers, probably one of the furnace registers from the air conditioning unit. And we're just looking to see what we've got. We're getting about 317 feet per minute. Well, really I'd be looking for something like 500, so it's really not providing a lot of air. This is the AC unit in the house. We're missing a drip leg on the gas supply. This is the furnace, and you can see that there's some damage to the walls of the heat exchanger. Now, to the extent of that damage I can't tell, but it's a little bit of rust and some deterioration. Now here's the deal with these things. There's a lot of rust at the back there. Here's the deal. They can get pinholes in them that allow the gases, the burnt gases, to actually get mixed with the air circulating around the house. And there's no way I can test for it. It's got to be tested properly. I'm going to recommend that this is tested. I recommend this furnace is not used until it's tested. I've found rust down the bottom here. I can't see right up inside it. It's hidden from me, but there's rust down the bottom. There's signs of rust here, water running down here, more water stains here, and up in here where we got the vent hood there's more signs of rust, certainly here, and it could be that the heat exchanger is compromised. the air conditioning unit, the compressor on the exterior. The cold pipe here is completely missing insulation. It's not cooling very well. There's no signs that it's freezing, but it's certainly not performing well at all. This is the furnace. It's not lighting. I couldn't light the pilot light. Anyhow, the condition of the heat exchanger in the furnace is poor. There's a lot of rust. I can't tell whether it's actually perforated, in which case gases of combustion can pass from the hot side to the house, the ducting. In addition to that, there's, to my mind, insufficient combustion air. There's a vent up here, and there's another vent here, bringing air into the whole area. But it's reliant also on drawing air from the house. This door is not sealed. It should be. Should be a weather seal all the way around it. You shouldn't be drawing combustion air from the house. The unit needs to be looked at by an independent air conditioning engineer. I recommend that you have it looked at before you do anything else. It may be perfect, but I can't carry out the necessary tests to make sure you'll be safe. This is water heater. Has a sensor in the pan. Should it start to flood, it will cut the water supply off here. The vent hood is poorly installed. It's at an angle and it doesn't have any screws retaining it in place. The vent itself is badly constructed. I don't think it'll hold air in. I think some combustion air will get out. And we got signs of water penetration at the flue at the top here. But it's this area here that I'm most concerned about, because the vent hood is very important and the flue is very important. If you don't get it right, you can get combustion gases in the house. We do not have a sediment trap on the gas line. There's signs of rust at the bottom here, but not a lot. The chamber, there's a lot of debris in it, indicating that it's quite old. It's not igniting at the moment. The gas has been tied off, look. Well, I'm not going to untie it. I'm not happy with the installation anyway. Especially with that vent hood. I would recommend that this is looked at by a licensed plumber. plumbing's not done properly here. This pipe shouldn't be sloping back like this. It should actually be sloping down towards the drain, not sloping back from the drain. And it's all because it's just been installed rather badly. Water leak here. It's at the valve itself. Both these valves have got to be changed. They're in very poor condition. And we have a 3-way outlet, which means a modern dryer will not fit there. This bathroom that we're about to go into has had a running shower ever since I got here. The faucet doesn't turn off. And it doesn't actually turn on. It's not working properly at all. Okay, the faucet in this bathroom is not working properly. The water valve at the road is leaking.
Good.
Okay. You got the key to lock up?
Yeah, I've got a key.
Good. That's great. I'll leave you to it.